Let us say good morning to the Sun showbiz editor, Ellie Henman. Ellie, good morning. Welcome. Good afternoon. Sorry. Forgot what time of the day it is. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Sorry I was slightly late.
Not at all. What we want to do is do small talk Oscars, whereby in the next few minutes we're going to equip people with just enough knowledge to get through a water cooler moment or the back of a taxi conversation with the Oscars. They were announced yesterday. I have them here in front of me. What were your headlines from the Oscar announcement?
For me, Oppenheimer. I think everyone knew Barbie, Oppenheimer. It's been the everything awards season. BAFTAs, Golden Globes, Emmys. 13 for Christopher Nolan. He got a Best Director nod as well. Cillian Murphy, his first ever Oscar nod for Oppenheimer. So 13 nominations they got. They absolutely swept the board. I mean, just behind them is Poor Things with 11.
Yes.
And then Killers of the Flower Moon with 10.
Yes.
But I heard you weren't a fan of Killers of the Flower Moon.
I just felt I loved the book. I love Scorsese. I could watch anything he made. And I felt it was very, very long and it was a little dull.
Well, I think they must have agreed with you to some point because Leonardo didn't get a Best Actor nod. He missed out.
Yeah, that's strange. The Oscars don't really like him, do they? I mean, I know he eventually got one for The Revenant, I think, after being in much better movies. But anyway, it got 10, and you said the second film that got all the...
Poor Things was 11.
Oh, yeah,
Killers of the Flower Moon 10, and then Barbie 8. So not bad Barbie, let's be honest, but obviously there were huge snubs there because Margot Robbie, no Best Actress,
Amazing.
And Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
So it's a huge film. The first female director to get a box office hit of over £1 million. So obviously here and in the States, the global box office, it's huge. Completely snubbed. And you think that film was made for women. It was meant to be about bashing the patriarchy and getting young women to stand up.
And a man got a nomination. No!
So luckily, America Ferrera, she got Best Supporting Actress too, so at least there's something. But Ryan Gosling did this great statement last night because obviously he's down for Best Actor and his song I'm Just Ken has also been nominated. But he said basically he was so disappointed with the Academy. It's like, how can you not have voted for these two amazing women who were the whole premise of the film? Because obviously Margot was the one who went and pursued the rights for Barbie. People had tried before but hadn't done it. And she went to Mattel and persuaded them, and they said, yeah, okay, we'll trust you with it.
Yeah.
So then she got Greta on board and they worked on this amazing film. There's a reason it took $1 billion and £1 billion, at the box office. Yes. But no, they won't get a reward for it at the Oscars.
What a shame, because they're two of the smartest women in Hollywood, clearly. And when I heard that they were making a film about Barbie, I was like, how is this going to work? I mean, I couldn't make sense of it. Then I went to see it and I couldn't get enough of it. I thought it was one of the funniest, most joyful, and as a, pale, stale male, I kind of felt suitably chastised.
But that's what it was meant to be. I think they were meant to.
I loved it.
The world's a really dark place sometimes, and like you said, you love cinema and the escapism it gives
in the
you.
cinema.
It has to be.
I love. You're the same, Ellie. Are you like? It has to be the screen.
The whole point of it, buying your sweets beforehand because they're really too expensive in the cinema. So you take your own in, and the rustling has to stop after the orange adverts, and they stop telling you like Torval and Dean or whatever they're called. I always get that wrong. Definitely not Torval and Dean. But I love the cinema experience. And obviously, the actors' strike, now that's come to an end. And I feel like blockbusters 2025 is going to be huge for film because everyone had to push back.
Yes.
So I think the Oscars
free.
is whetting our appetite. And we'll be hopefully now moving forward. Obviously, huge news for Tom Cruise too. So
what's that?
So Mission Impossible, poor man, they were always so snobby at the Oscars. So he got a Best Picture nod last year. Well, this year he's got 2 Oscar nods.
Oh, okay. He'll be thrilled.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. So it was only for visual effects and sound, but every Oscar nomination is an Oscar nomination as far as I'm concerned.
That is so true. That's for the most recent Mission, which I went to see in a cinema, which it can only be seen. That scene on the train at the end. It was great fun. I love that film.
It was absolutely amazing.
I have not seen American Fiction yet, which is nominated for Best Film, and I haven't seen The Holdovers or The Zone of Interest or Past Lives. So there's 4 I haven't seen, all the other ones. But I'm really keen to see those 4 as well, because I love to try and get to see them all before they get the
It's such a great hobby to do it before, and obviously, well, you've got quite a while. It's March the 10th in Los Angeles. The ceremony's going to be coming live. Exactly. So I think it'll start about 1 a.m. like normal. So we're primed and ready for your show.
Ready to go. Oh, that's perfect timing. Thank you. Bradley Cooper and Maestro, mad performance. Quite enjoyed it, actually.
Absolutely insane. And obviously, Carey Mulligan alongside him too in that film, who's got the nod for that as well. So, I mean, Maestro is amazing.
Yeah.
I know there was a sort of a lot of scandal around it at the time and the prosthetics and the way it was told, but I think he did such justice.
So he put a prosthetic nose on, and yet the Leonard Bernstein's family said, we don't have an issue with it, so please don't take an issue on our behalf.
Exactly, but I think people love to moan, don't they?
They?
Whatever you do, someone's always going to have an issue with it. But I think they skimmed past that so well. It was handled so well by Cooper and the Bernstein family. And but I mean, if you haven't seen that yet,
who would you now? And I'm asking you, Who would you love to see win the Best Actress Oscar? You've got Annette Bening for Naiad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. You've got Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall, which is a great dark little film. That Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone, of course, who's likely to win it for Poor Things, but unless it's a surprise. Who are you giving it to?
So
You were allowed. It's your choice.
I really like Emma Stone, but Lily Gladstone for me, just history making, it would be huge for her. And I just feel like for representation in the industry and how much she's done and how well she has done so far in the previous ceremonies, it would be absolutely amazing.
Very dignified performance, and
she was fantastic.
you can see why she got the nod. Actor-wise, who would you like to see? Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo. I haven't seen Rustin yet. Paul Giamatti, that looks great. Holdovers. Cillian Murphy. Do I need to say any more? And Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Who are you giving it to? Now, don't just because you're talking to an Irishman doesn't mean you have to give it to an Irishman. But as a matter of curiosity, you giving it to?
It has to be Cillian Murphy.
There you go.
He's just such a good actor. And you look at that man's rise and rise.
Yeah.
You know, he's just such an incredible actor. And I feel like he's done such justice to this role. And like, first Oscar nod, this is huge for him. Like, and he deserves it.
He's a very unassuming person in real life as well. And he's very, very... He wouldn't be affected by this. Do you know what I mean? He's a cool cat.
Oh, he's just dropped a gorgeous from
Yeah, well, there you got that to well,
he does quiet and brooding so well. It's like that man has to say nothing and women and men go weak at the knees.
Peaky Blinders, like we have to honourable mention for one of the greatest things on TV. Best film, who are you going? I'm just this parlour game, just for you now. You're allowed to hand out the awards. You've got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killer of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Choice is yours, Ellie.
Oppenheimer is going to win, but I think it should be Barbie, just for justice for Margot. So her and Greta get to go on stage.
Oh, that would be nice.
Put two fingers up, I think, to the Academy and just say
thank you and good night.
Exactly, at least we've won.
Okay, that gives us a good rundown. Is there anyone else you'd like to mention that you'd like to see get awards, whether it's supporting or directors or songs or anything like that?
I think Scorsese should win Best Director.
Okay.
I think Nolan will win. But I think Scorsese should, because it's such an incredible film. But then for me, what made me really sad is Barry Keoghan, who I'm absolutely...
Barry Keoghan, I know.
Keoghan, sorry, that's a terrible pronunciation
it's a very,
of his last name.
It's a very complicated name to pronounce.
Keoghan.
It's a strange...
Keoghan.
Even in Ireland, it's a very uncommon name, so we'll put it out there for everyone so they know when they're saying it. This is part of the talk, the small talk
helpful.
Oscars. We all know Keoghan. It's a strange one, but that's what it is.
Barry Keoghan.
Perfect, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love Saltburn. I know it wasn't
I love Saltburn. So we haven't even talked about one of the best of the films.
How on earth did he not get... He didn't get any nods. And Saltburn got nothing. And you just think, probably was a bit too controversial, but what an incredible film.
But isn't that what art is meant to be, controversial? Art is meant to challenge you. Art is meant to stop you in your tracks and have a conversation. This is the one we've all been talking about, much more so than any of them. So I'm glad you brought this up
There are
now.
so many parts. The bathtub scene, but for me, it's in the end. I won't ruin it for people that haven't seen it, but in the hospital, when he's there.
Yes.
And you just go...
Yeah. There's so many of those. I thought so many films. We were talking off air about certain dramas that are so slow to go on because they have too many episodes in the season. Whereas a film like that, it's so compelling from the get go. You didn't get bored. You didn't look at the squirrel out the window. You just were like, "Oh, what's he doing now?" He's got his mouth on the plug hole of the bath.
I think my chins were on my belly for most of that film because I was just slack-jawed the entire time. It was brilliant. And it gave Barry, for me, I feel like this has just been Barry's year. Him and those amazing sleeveless shirts he started to wear on the red carpet. It's like, take that, Robbie Williams all over again.
It's back.
Barry, you're bringing it back.
And there was talk of Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. They seem to be getting a lot of nominations in different awards, but not here. So I think between us both, we're going to give Barry Keoghan an honorary Oscar.
I would very much love to do that.
Okay, great. Ellie Henman, showbiz editor with The Sun. You're so good to come and see us. Come again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time this morning. Great to talk to you.
Virgin Radio.